think these guys are ready? You think these Philly fans have waited long enough to celebrate their champions and to watch them kick off their journey to the top of the NFL mountain? Once again, it is the NFL kickoff game here in 2025, and this is NFL Game Day Kickoff presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Hello, everybody. Great to be back here with you on a Thursday. Rhett Lewis, Maurice Jones-Drew. Love being back here with you, man.
How are you, sir?
I'm fired up to kick off this season, and we got a great way to kick it off. We are back. Football is back, but what about back-to-back? Do the Eagles ring that bell for you here tonight? Among the questions we'll get to answer, the beginning of the answer.
I didn't say anything.
Not yet, but we'll get there. We will get there. And we will take you right now to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, where Mike Garafolo is live for us this evening. Mike, let's start with what that celebration looks like for the Eagles this evening.
Rhett, on the far part of the stadium there is a black sheet that is covering the banner for the Super Bowl champions from this past season. This will be a celebration of everything they accomplished last year. That'll be a brief look back and then a look forward to 2025 as they begin the game. I find it interesting because Jalen Hurts was one of several Eagles, along with head coach Nick Sirianni, who talked about moving forward. Nothing they did last year matters anymore. Yet, as they start the regular season, there will be the celebration. There will be Boys to Men singing the national anthem. Brandon Graham, who has since retired, will be on hand and part of the festivities. There'll even be perhaps a special guest, I am told, with regard to the festivities to start the game as owner Jeffrey Lurie brings out the Lombardi Trophy. So all those festivities that the players have been trying to put behind them will be there right before kickoff. The Eagles fans are ready. There will be plenty of Eagles gear inside this entire stadium. There will be a smattering of Cowboys gear, including, Rhett, I am told, and I find this hilarious, Micah Parsons' mother, Charisse, will be here, is already on the premises along with his grandmother. Charisse is wearing Cowboys gear tonight to the game. I can't believe that I heard that, but that's exactly what is happening tonight with Micah Parsons' mother here at the link.
Micah, though, who will be in the land of Lombardi on Sunday as the Packers kick off their season against the Lions. Very interesting. Mike, great nugget there for us as always. But aside from family in attendance, how Micah Parsons' presence or lack thereof will be felt tonight is among the questions the Cowboys look to answer.
Yeah, part of this is that the Cowboys felt like they have a bunch of young guys on the edge that can start making a name for themselves, even if the casual non-Cowboy fan doesn't know their names at this point. Now, Dante Fowler's been around. He's part of the edge rush for sure. But there's also Sam Williams, who's coming off an ACL injury that he suffered last year. The only injury, really, he's had in his entire career. And he had shown flashes of being that guy. In fact, I'm told that the Cowboys, early on during the Micah Parsons saga this summer, approached Sam Williams about the possibility of doing an extension for him because he is in the final year of his contract, and given the opportunity, if he continues to produce, he's going to make himself some money this offseason. Those talks did not go anywhere, and there's no imminent deal at this point, but he is one of the guys that is going to be charged with replacing Micah Parsons along with Donovan Ezeraku, the second-round pick here, the rookie that I'm told is a sponge. He asks questions. He takes everything in. He's a hard worker. They're really pleased with what they've seen from him early on, as well as one more name, Marshawn Nealon, a guy that they expect to step up as well.
Yeah, and Dante Fowler, of course, has been productive in the last few stops that he's made around the league. So it's more replacement, as you mentioned, by committee there for the Dallas pass rush. Thank you, Mike Garafolo. Appreciate it. Check back with you here shortly as you get a look at the Cowboys sack production. A year ago, Micah Parsons more than doubling the next closest guy to his production in sacks. And those next two guys, Chauncey Golston, Carl Lawson, are no longer with the Cowboys. And then DeMarvin Overshone is on PUP to start the season. So they are truly starting anew and trying to get after the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, this evening. And speaking of that, right, putting the Micah Parsons trade now under the microscope in the landscape of this game, what are the tangible effects that you think this Cowboys defense will show without having Micah against the Eagles?
Well, I think third down is going to be the most important thing, where you're going to talk about blitzing now on third down because you're not going to have that ultimate pass rush that can get to the quarterback in under 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds, right, to put that pressure. So you're going to have to blitz a little bit. And that's what happens when you lose a superstar pass rusher. Now, where I think is going to help them is by having a strong run defense. I think they're going to do a better job of stopping the run. I think more people are going to be committed to stopping the run. There goes my guy right here, Clinton Clark. You know where in college he went to.
Bruins.
You CLA. We need you back at UCLA right now, Kenny, because we're having trouble stopping the run as well. But I know he's going to do his part. Also, the leadership factor. Kenny's been in the league a long time.
Allowed at nearly 140 a contest, which was something, obviously, that was a priority for Dallas. And perhaps that does see some improvement tonight. All right. 208 days ago, that was the Eagles.
Oh.
Right there in New Orleans, inside the Superdome. Second world title.
Oh, look at
Brought
that.
back to Philly. There's Brandon Graham, retired. But 17 of 22 starters from that game on offense and defense remain here in Philly. A young core. So as we look at this thing, and you look at the way that the Eagles made their journey right to the top of the mountain, beating the Chiefs, got through the Rams. They got barely, right? That was a really tight game. Got past Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Who do you see as the biggest threat to the Eagles as their quest to repeat?
Well, it's going to be two.
In the NFC.
It's going to be two teams, but I'm going to talk about one. I'll talk about the Rams. That's who I believe has the best shot of what they've done this offseason, but also Tampa Bay. Let's not forget, Tampa Bay has beaten the Eagles multiple times throughout. I mean, well, a couple years ago, they knocked them out of the playoffs. So Tampa has that ability. But let me talk about the Rams a little bit and what they were able to do this offseason. One, they added Poona Ford, who's a huge free agent signing, a guy that can stop in the middle. Matthew Stafford now can throw the ball to Devontae Adams. They signed Coleman Shelton, who was their center from the year before. And then we're going to get to those final three plays that happened where we saw some sacks and some mishaps happen. But again, having Matthew Stafford there healthy, getting some receivers on the back end going, getting that run game going, to me, that's going to be the most important thing. And then again, you have your play caller and your quarterback. That continuity is what you're looking for. So I'm excited to see what the Rams do against the Eagles coming up in a couple weeks.
I mean, I'm 100% with you there. They gave the Eagles the best shot in the postseason. Even when you think about the Chiefs as well, and Matthew Stafford healthy to begin this season, it's obviously a huge variable. Career high 8 touchdowns through the air for Devontae Smith in his 4th season.
We don't need to say anything else. Look at that suit and that hat. Yeah, just stop.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful moment that we shared together.
Oh.
Well, that's another one too, right there. Trayvon Diggs. I mean, look, I think it's a little riskier, I think I'd say, and that does kind of encapsulate what Trayvon Diggs is as a corner, right? He is going to take chances. Remember back in 2021, that turned into 11 interceptions, but back-to-back seasons ending via knee injury is not the way that he wanted that to go, certainly, but back tonight, which is great news for the Cowboys. They'll have he and Durant Bland ready to go. So when you look at this matchup, how do you see the advantage when A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are out there on the perimeter for Jalen Hurts, and you got Bland and Trayvon Diggs back there?
Yeah, to me, I'm going to go with the Eagles and go with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The reason being is Micah Parsons isn't there, so you're going to have to simulate pressure, right? Send blitzes, disguise coverages, different things, and that's going to leave one-on-one on the outside. And to me, A.J. Brown is the best one-on-one pass catcher in the NFL.